This is a tricky little track. A lot of guys love it. A lot of guys hate it. Throw my name in that hat, Dean. This is a fun racetrack, but I never was able to get my hands around it. So you'll see some guys we normally see up front, kind of fading back. It's going to be an interesting night tonight, Dean.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, if you hate it, you go sit in the booth here, Baron, and you appreciate it from afar, right? I
Well,
mean,
I certainly appreciate it from afar. Yeah, because that's really far from appreciating.
well, I mean, Richmond, an interesting track, and it does have that kind of connotation to it, where some guys really take to it, others don't. One thing we do know, qualifying going to be very important, along with track position and all that. Let's check in on our championship standings here and see. We're very early in the season here, a couple of races in, but George Leal has grabbed the lead over Shane Hart. These are unofficial, by the way, people. Points a little different than this, apparently. But Leal in first for sure. Shane Hart, Darren Bruce, TJ Rogers, Jason Jackson, top five. You got Ripka, Reiner, Walker, Barice, and Spear in your top 10. And this is the type of track, Baron, where points can be made up here quite easily.
Yeah, and they really can. And a lot of these drivers are going to need some of these points. Look, looking at the top of the board there, George Leal has been on a tear for the last 3 or 4 months now. So George is going to be a handful, and it seems like no matter what track we throw George at, he's gone. So these guys are, if you're not a mile and a half specialist, if you don't like plate tracks, this is your opportunity.
The view here, Baron, does that change your opinion of it at all? Look at it, a beautiful
Oh, it's
track there.
beautiful. And I was just there last week. It is a gorgeous area. Richmond is a wonderful track. I just can't drive it, Dean.
Yeah, I feel you there. Well, my object when you can't drive a track is hot lap it. Try and get on the pole. We'll see who can do that tonight. It'll be big, trust me. Passing will be at a premium. And we look in on Reiner there. We've seen Reiner and Leal, I believe, battle earlier in the week on Sunday at this track. So we'll probably see some more of that. There's a look at Reggie Evans out here turning some laps, part of that Dirty South Racing. Mark Hamill, a newcomer out here. So we got a lot of newer faces. We've covered a lot of them out here. Of course, in the 32, you'll have Ian Spear out here. He's at that corner for Christ or something. We'll get a better look at it later on. But Ian, we'll see how he does. I love it when new guys come to the league, Baron.
Yeah, me too. A lot of good talent out here, Dean, and we've seen the Shane Hars of the world and make a difference. Brandon Sheffield, not a newcomer to this league, but actually made the drivers meeting tonight, Dean, and actually qualified.
He did, and that'll bring us in to tonight's starting grid. Brandon Sheffield on the point with a time of 21.304. It's Buckshot Ripka on the outside of row number one. Row 2 will feature Greg Ratliff and Bryce Reiner. Row 3, you got Whitford and Leal. Hunt and Spear will start 7th and 8th. 9th will be Fleming with Travis in 10th. Looking a little further back, you got Otto Viani and Tony Ratliff. Corey Leal, Claus Williams 14th. 15th is Kulikowski. The Toad Man will start on the outside of row number 8. Row 9 will feature Jason Jackson and Tom Ashley. Shane Har will start here towards the back, and 19th we'll see what he can do from there, along with Jason Brantley. Brian Helm a little further back here. And you got Stevie Knight, Darren Bruce, Linger, and we'll continue to look through this field here. You got Hamill, Joyner, Walker the second, Kane, Ashley, Evans Jr., Ian Spear, and George Dibble. Looks like George still on pit road, and Reggie going to the back.
Beautiful field, a lot of cars, 30 plus in this thing tonight, Dean. This track's going to get pretty full pretty quick as we start ticking laps off.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Big field here on a small track, so we'll see how all that plays out. We're going to take one
lap
more
traffic.
ride around.
Yep, lap traffic will be an issue tonight as these guys stay green. This league likes to go green, and they do a very good job of it. So keep an eye out for those lappers. I want to shout out to everybody in YouTube land. Thank you for joining us on Wind Tunnel TV. Shout out your favorite driver, your favorite liquor, your favorite food, your favorite movie. I don't care. We will comment on it because, Dean, we are just stupid like that, aren't we?
We are indeed. There's no doubt about it. Couldn't describe us any better.
Yep. Unconventional. That's a better word. What do you think?
Well, I guess. I'm too stupid to know what that means.
It's a school word that I just threw out there. My bad.
So Sheffield out front, talked a little bit about that pre-race. He's going to be dangerous out here. He doesn't often get a chance to qualify. Here he is, starting from the point. Green flag, down and away. Great start by him. Little checkup on the outside. Has them bump car driving over there. Here comes Greg Ratliff.
Yeah, Ratliff underneath the very surprised Lance Ripka buckshot, not getting off the way he had wanted to. That's holding up Bryce Reiner.
Yeah, he just got loose there as well. So a tough first lap for the 52, but he settles into third. Behind him, everybody getting it all sorted out. And we're under caution, so maybe not.
We just jinxed ourselves. We did not sort it out.
Linger involved here, and perhaps that is Ashley and Linger. So Herb, Ashley, and Linger got involved in something. We'll see if we can get a look in on it here. So here you see the congestion up ahead. Oh, and there's a checkup. Looks like Bruce and Linger come together. Ashley gets a phantom piece of it, but might have slid through that car. So a little iRacing courtesy there. We'll go
lots of checking up, lots of swerving.
See what happened here. So slow motion replay here, and you watch the inside lane at the top of your screen. Looks like a little early braking there. And a little bit sideways. The Toadman's a little evasive. Helm checks up. Linger says, I'm coming. And he taps the 15 and around they go. No, not too much harm there, though. Linger.
Got into the back of him, and Darren Bruce will get a little repair and get on his way, yeah.
Well, a little fill up, right?
Yep.
Little stop and go get the pit crew to fill the tank up. Stick a straw in that drink, and off we go.
Insider information right there.
There you go. So not a whole lot changing. A few people grabbed a couple of spots. You know, Ian Spear at the back. He's moved up a few. So that's what an early caution can do for you, Baron, is, you know, you get a couple of these early cautions and you can pick up 5-10 spots just kind of minding your own business.
Right. Yeah, you'll be sitting pretty 1 second, and the next second you're hemmed up in it, Dean. And if you're sitting behind it, you don't collect anything, but you collect positions, don't you?
Here's a look at Bruce's car. Looks all right. Big shout out to his sister Carrie, and of course Allison and Benny. Always watching Wind Tunnel TV. We appreciate it so much.
As usual, smash that like button or love button on there. Tell people you like Wind Tunnel. Tell them you like, you know, a couple of non-conventional people in the booth, right? They're calling a race.
Lie.
Yeah.
We're asking you to lie for us.
That's right.
So Greg Ratliff, now he'll be on the outside of row one. Ripka moves down to the inside behind Sheffield. We'll see how that plays out. Could be a little better for Ripka. I think it's going to be a little slick on that high side early. We'll see how they handle it up there.
Well, you know, there's some heat in these tires now, Dean, so they still got to be mindful of that restart, but hopefully they've got the dirt rubbed off them here.
All right, Sheffield leading them on down. And he is down and shot out of a cannon. My goodness.
Big restart. Yeah, phenomenal restart there.
It looks like Lance Ripka also capitalizing, so he'll take second back away from Ripka. Reiner looking to power in. He backs out. Leal already up here.
Bryce Reiner bringing some good-looking cars to the track these days, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He is. Love Bryce Reiner's car. We'll get a look in on it here. Something a little different with the colors there, but they really pop, don't they?
They do. Yep. I'm a big fan of that color orange, but you know that.
But even white, I mean, he goes a little bit off white there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
know what kind of colors he got. Mauve or something? I have no idea.
Mauve. Yeah.
Mauve?
Yeah. Mauve.
Not much of the interior decorator there.
That's all right.
It once took me
What's
5 years to hang a painting because I didn't know where to put it.
right? You can't miss that Rachel Hunt car on the track. That hot pink. That's a good looking ride out there too, Dean. She is one you can pick up anywhere on that track.
Yeah, Rachel Hunt got the Racing for Christ on the side. Looking good out here tonight. Qualified very well, already up a spot. So Rachel, we've seen this a lot lately. Can she hang in there? Endurance, a bit of a problem with, her problems, as you know. She suffers from Parkinson's and a couple other ailments, I believe, as well. But a true warrior, and driving the race car actually helps her symptoms. So good for her. And I tell you, she's a hell of a competitor in all
She
ways.
is, she is, and we hope she stays behind the wheel as long as she possibly can there too. She's chasing a tough character though in George Leal, isn't she?
Yeah, right. She's right there with Leal, and it'll be interesting to see how the George Leals do here and that, because this track doesn't really lend itself too much to tire saving. Wow, Hunt way up the track. A crazy line from Hunt. It seemed to work a little
Wow,
bit though.
big run, but she is taking the path less traveled here, Dean. Look at the run she's getting.
Yeah, working the high side there. We heard a little bit about this on Sunday night, that it can be done. And you see there again, this is on purpose, folks. She is not missing the corner. She's doing something a little different. Should help stabilize the car. Should help that right front wear out. Believe it or not, I think she's intentionally trying to do that here tonight.
So I remember, maybe 2010, 2011, Kevin Harvick ran a very similar line, won the race here at Richmond doing that.
Yeah, it can be done. There's no doubt. I think I remember Bernard Persson trying something similar here as well. See there, Tony Ratliff currently in 12th. Got Jorge Leal right behind him in the Gatorade machine. There goes Claus Williams trying to make a move on Michael Fleming. Big power move out of that Ford performance machine.
Claude is having a great season so far, real consistent tonight, Dean, and has been real consistent. This may be one of those Claus Williams types tracks, right? We saw him win in Gateway. We've seen him win on the smaller tracks, and this might be right playing into his hands.
Well, I'll tell you what I love about Claus is Claus comes to race. He's already up 4 spots here tonight, one of our biggest movers. And he doesn't mess around. He's not worried a whole lot about his tires and this and that. He just come to race. And I miss that. It was one of the joys of coming on here is you just race as hard as possible and fight for every spot.
Yeah, and that is definitely Claus Williams. That's his personality, no doubt.
Top 10 kind of single filed here. You see them all lined up. There's Otto Viani in the 53 right in front of the Toad Man. Shane Haar trying to pick his way through the field here. He's up 3 spots. Jackson there, and then Helm, who's up 3 as well. So some fast cars back here. Logan Joyner trying to make moves. A full send there underneath. It looked like Ashley in the 62. It was. So Joyner not messing around. Behind him, Bruce.
Bruce trying to recover from that early spin. He's dead even on the field right now at 22nd, but don't suspect that 15 car will be back there too awful long.
No, you wouldn't, but again, not a fan of Richmond, so you know how that goes, Baron.
I sure do. I agree.
Brandon Sheffield out front, somewhere he hasn't had the privilege of being for a while. Doesn't often get in time to qualify, so he has to fight his way through the field here with track position. How good will he be? Time will tell. We're on lap 20 of 175. There is Buckshot. Buckshot having a nice start here. It's a little slow on the outside on the initial start, but got second place back. Looks like he's settled in nicely.
Yeah, he's gathered it up. Yep, he's looking pretty good.
Bryce Reiner, we know he'll be there at the end. This is what he does. He'll be pacing himself right now, trying to save that car for later in the run. There's the big dog, Greg Ratliff, in the number 5. Jorge Leal, of course, your past champion and championship leader here early on in the season, doing what champions do, hanging around the top 5.
He is really solid, isn't he, Dean? I mean, just methodical. No big moves, no big mistakes. Just week in and week out, just clocked in.
Yeah, I mean, and we talk a lot about it, right? I mean, it's the type of guy, you're going to have to beat him because he's not going to beat himself. And we got a few of those guys in here, and it makes it hyper difficult on some of these guys trying to make improvements, you know, and get these finishing positions. How do you beat someone who never makes a mistake, Baron?
Right, you don't. You got to go out there and outdrive him, and that's not an easy thing either. So you're waiting for George Leal to make a mistake is like, you know, watching paint dry. It just doesn't happen very quickly. I don't know what I just said, but it sounded good.
It sounded great. We go on board with Jason Spear here. Now Spear back in 9th position. And, you know, lately, Spears looked good to me. He's had bad luck. And the Baron, I mean, we've all been bit by it. It's hard to shake, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you find yourself in a rut, and you can't win for losing. You know, the race gods, you know, stack the odds against you sometimes. And it's really, really difficult. Once upon a time, you know, we've all been there. And, you know, Jason, an accomplished racer and a veteran, he'll dig himself out, Dean, but for now, you know, you got to kind of shake that bad luck, go get that lucky horseshoe or something.
Find his mojo, as we were talking about Adam Newton the other day. He was trying to find his mojo, couldn't find it anywhere.
I'm looking on the wrong website.
I figure he probably went and asked Goldmember if he had it. So a little gaggle behind him here. It looks like Fleming under heat from Jorge Leal. This is a battle here for 11th position. Tony Ratliff right there, right in front of him, more battling, as it looks like Paul K. Travis a little slow. Spears through. Now Klaus Williams looking to go through. And early on, Baron, the low line looks a little bit dominant here.
It does, and it's kind of a one-track, one-groove track sometimes, Dean. We talked offline when we got on here, and we were talking about how that high line tends to come in. We may be looking at later in the event before that'll happen for them.
Well, there's two ways it'll happen, right? One is the first lap, first corner. You can really rip the high side and surprise someone. Drive it in there deep and get around them right off the hop on fresh tires. And then the track demands you go low. Other times, the high line will come in as the run goes along, and you'll see that in particular in 3 and 4, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody takes to it.
Well, we saw Rachel go up there and give it a rip and see if anybody else does.
Yeah, let's see what Rachel's doing right now. Looks like she's settled in that medium type of groove here, low to medium. Yeah, and she's staying down there right now. Don't blame her. She's alone on the track right now. I think she's just trying to keep that car under her. How about Derek Woodford tonight? He's in 7th place. Started 5th. Good to see Derek back up here, though, in the top 10 fighting.
Yeah, run a little different paint scheme. Derek's a solid driver. Like, we were looking for Derek to start piling up some wins. He had a wonderful race 3 weeks ago. So, Derek knocking on the door, Dean.
Yeah, he's been knocking on it for a while, and sometimes you fall a little bit before you get up and surge again. You know, 2 feet forward, 1 back type of thing. And we'll see. I have high hopes for Mr. Whitford. Big battles back here around 10th through 14th, 15th. Fleming still up
A lot of
high.
cars. Yep, a lot of cars under a blanket there.
Tony Ratliff surging forward. Let's go on board
Okay,
with
there.
the Toad Man here.
Big move.
Oh, and a tag of the wall
Ooh,
from Fleming.
yeah.
That makes
Fleming
Autoviani jump down low.
Big hit.
Toad Man sliding right on through. I'm not sure if he got by. No, he did not.
Nope.
You see Fleming surging back, and Fleming got into someone. He got into, it looked like Autoviani. Somehow Autoviani controlled that. My goodness.
That's crazy. That was a big hit, too.
That was absolutely a huge hit. Let's see if we can get a shot of this here. I think this was a little bit after the hit.
Yep.
And here it is, folks. You go in the corner. Fleming had some kind of issue, and then he drilled him. Look at this driving from Autoviani. What a save. Just walks it up the track a little bit. That is some great driving there.
That sure is. That's as wrecked gets without the yellow.
Great job. He's got to so he saved his car, and now he's got to get his mind right again. That'll shake you up a bit, won't it, Baron?
Well, we got to release the pucker a little bit now, because his event was almost over.
Out front, Brandon Sheffield. He's being hunted down by Ripka and Reiner. It looks like Reiner is closed in on Ripka now. So watch out. Lap 38 at 175. We've been mostly green here. A couple of really early cautions. That was it. Or one, I should say. Leal in 4th. There's Hunt in 5th. Whitford 6th. Ratliff. And then a little ways back, about 2 seconds back, to Spear, Williams, and Jorge Leal. That brings you your top 10. Go back up to that battle for a second. Maybe we'll hop on board with Bryce Reiner here, Baron. You can just have a look and see. I mean, we expect good things when we go in Reiner's car.
Well, we should. He's a solid driver. He does a really wonderful job behind the wheel, and he's really got a very fluid steering wheel motion. I don't know if you know. It's not a lot of heavy jerking here and there. First of all, jerking, and then just a lot of fluid motion. That's a great race car driver. I love watching it.
Yeah, incredibly smooth, as you've seen Sheffield touch the wall on entry, but he get a huge run coming in that high. But yeah, I mean, he's incredibly smooth, and this is a great way to drive the car, in my opinion. I like driving like this. You see other guys, possibly even faster, who will work the wheel a lot more, but this is what I think people need to learn. Well, it's just so incredibly smooth here.
Yeah, it is. It's very fluid, very smooth. Bryce putting in a lot of practice, and it pays off normally with podiums.
So Sheffield, he had the lead, he has the lead, but he has been run down by Ripka and Reiner. Go in and check this battle for 6. You got Whitford, I believe, who has just moved up. So Whitford in front of Greg Ratliff. A little further back, we got some other action here. Brian Helm up in front. It's Autoviani and Paul K. Travis slugging it out. That's the East Coast Web Printers machine there. Paul K. Travis.
Yeah, Paul K. been in a hornet's nest all night. Every time we look at him, he's got somebody under him or over him. Like, he's just in the middle of it seems.
Sorry, we thought we had a crash. Something registered on my system. A possible problem for Kulikowski. Like Stevie Knight has headed to pit road, so that's bad news for the 84 machine. Up front, they go around lap traffic of Steven Linger. jump all around the place. We go back to this battle here. That's Paul K in 15th, 16th Helm, and the Fleming's there, sorry, and then Logan Joyner still coming through the field in a hurry. Now Joyner up 8 spots right now.
That really deep starting position, and Joyner coming up forward now. You know, we're going to get towards halfway here in a little bit, maybe 10 to 20 laps. So we're going to start seeing guys playing on these pits, Dean. They can go halfway, one stop, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could probably do over 100 laps here at Richmond, so I don't think that's any concern for them. Look for a lot of the guys to push to that 100 lap level. I mean, guys are scared. You know what they're scared of, Baron? Is that guys that come in, you know, you want to pit at like halfway. What's that? 87 laps, something like that.
Yeah. No, I
want to pit
right.
there, but you're scared that the guys that do pit then will come out on those freshies and they'll cause an accident because they're not ready for their fresh tires, and then you're a lap down or 2 down from pitting. So there's a lot of scared people. They'll probably hang on this track till lap 100.
Yeah, I didn't see the screen right. I thought it said 58, not 48, Dean. I'm bad.
All good. Battles continuing to rage on down here. We've seen Helm fighting the car a little bit, but now he's back on the bottom, and it looks like he's all settled again. So that middle to high groove, Baron, what was Fleming drove in there hard. Holy cow, right around the outside of Helm. Helm looking a little bit like he's fighting that machine, but he's good off the corner, so we got some different driving style. Looks like Shane Harr behind the ball has the, I'm going to wiggle this thing in here style.
Yeah, he's definitely looking the higher of the grooves. And
and contact, a little hip check from Helm.
Yep.
That looked like some crime there.
That was different.
I think a little anger boiling over between Fleming and Helm, perhaps. These things happen out on the track. Interesting, fun racing back here. 20th place, Jason Brantley. Also got that, you know, East Coast Web Printers machine there. Always love it. Good looking car. Tom Ashley right behind him. Get the Schreiner machine out there.
What's up, Schreiner?
There's Edward Kane. It's about time for him to pull in and do the taxes.
I was going to say, quiet night for the 21.
Really quiet for Kane. Not qualifying where he wanted, perhaps. He has moved up 6 spots so far. Michael Walker II, we just seen have a really good run. He is in up 4 spots in 23rd. And Ian Spear has moved up 7 spots. He's in 24th. So some good moves out of those guys. Back up front, still Sheffield. Now Reiner in 2nd. Leal in 3rd. So we have lost Lance Ripka. I'm not sure what happened to Lance. We'll try and find out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It looks like I found something here. So there is Ripka, and he just gets loose behind Sheffield, all on his own, under throttle, gets down into the grass. Oh my goodness. Has to file back out, loses all that track position. That is tragedy right there for the man known as Buckshot.
Yeah, that is. That's terrible. It's a little bit too much right foot. And we'll bleed off, 8 positions. That's terrible.
That's a long night now. He's back here battling for his life, trying to work underneath the Claus Williams. He's got lap traffic of Kulikowski right in front of him. And Linger up top is also a lap down. So they're clogging up this group, and Ripka is screaming out his mirror after having those problems. Back up front, Reiner and Sheffield going at it. Lingering in the background, Mr. Jorge Leal, about a couple seconds back. Then it's Hunt in 4th. Whitfield's moved up to 5th. So good battle up here. Things shaking up here, Baron, as these cars get a little worn in. Some rubber down on the track.
Shaken, not stirred. Sarah and Bruce probably have something to say about that.
Mr. Bruce currently back in 25th position along with Paul K. Travis. In a hornet's nest here. Look up ahead. 3 wide. Ian Spear driving down the middle. Walker on the bottom. Fleming up high. Spear says, I don't care. I am going to the front. How about the 32 machine?
Nailed it. That was a great job.
Behind them, they're wrecking. Big wreck down on the inside.
The yellow flag is out.
Ashley, Bruce, you can see it coming.
Trouble.
Pandemonium, Larry. So there on the high side, you can see Brantley hits the wall. Fleming checks up. Ashley gets hit. Bruce gets hit. It was a chain reaction.
Bruce hit that thing a ton. Wonder if that's got any motor left in it.
Now, there's always the pits. You can hit the pits. And I think everybody will be coming in now. Whole field.
Yep, feeding time. Feeding time for sure. Dean, can they make it?
Well, that's a great question. Let's check our laps here. It will be close. This could be interesting, Baron. That's a great observation. I think it's just outside of the fuel limit and doable.
I mean, they all made the same decision, so I guess, monkey see, monkey do here, but you're going to see some guys trying to stay here, aren't we?
I think you're going to, here you don't necessarily have to, quote, save. It is saving, but you just have to drive a little bit different, These guys who run we talk a lot about it in the booth here, a 2-foot technique, trail braking, if you will, and that is something that you generally are carrying the throttle through the corner. That'll hurt you now. A complete lift will be necessary, a little bit of coasting, so we'll see who does that a little bit better.
It's such a chess match sometimes, isn't it?
It always is, and I always like to tell you, you got to be like a chameleon. You got to adapt to your surroundings. This is not a strategy wins it. Things can change on the dime, and they just did. Yeah, get our boys out in the YouTube land up there chatting away. What's going on, people? What are you drinking? What are you having? And what are you seeing?
We'll take some dad jokes while we're at it.
And who do you want us to look into? You want your car to get some airtime? Flash them there in the chat. We'll get to them. We'll highlight them.
If somebody flashes us, I want to see.
Definitely. We'll show all the flashers. There's no doubt. So Sheffield, wire-to-wire leader so far. He comes off a pit road right where he was. It's Reiner there. Now Reiner's going to have to contend with Leal on the bottom because I like that third hole a lot better than the second one, Baron. Baron's going to have to regroup from that one as the pace car goes down. Brandon Sheffield down and away. Another good job by him. Reiner really good on the outside. Going to allow him to hold that second place. And actually Leal under heat from Whitford. Whitford doing exactly what I said. Cold tires on the high side can definitely do it in corner one. He's got to get it done here or he won't get it done. Big
Driving his guts out. Yep.
This is an important corner. I think it's too late now. Leal's up to speed and on the bottom, but Whitford, good run again. Not quite enough, though. Otto Viani pulling onto pit road. Not sure. Unknown problems there.
Great racing here, Dean.
Yeah, real good racing. Everybody trying to hold on what they got. They know how important it is. The one of Hunt now. Maybe he lost that spot. 2, Claus Williams. But no, she sends it in there hard. Ripka trapped behind these two. It's just not his night so far. He's got no luck. Up front, Sheffield doing his thing. Reiner as well. You know, Reiner and Leal are just biding their time. Can they wait, though, with guys like Whitford and Spear coming, Claus Williams coming? And
there's
now,
that Claus
like
Williams
Ripka,
guy.
on the outside, Ripka goes around Rachel Hunt.
Trying to recover what he lost there, you know.
Yeah, you get a little desperate sometimes, you know, or frustrated, I guess would be a better word. You know you got a top 3 car, maybe a winning car, and you're back there, you know, around 10th, and you think you deserve better. Some big movers. Look, how about Ian Spear here in that 32? He's now showing up 17 spots. Biggest mover on the track.
How about that for Ian? Great night.
And we said we'd clarify that. That's Ian's Corner of Faith. Go check him out on Facebook. He'll give you a nice Bible reading there. And I'm telling you, young man, Mr. Ian Spear, and he's very, very good at it. Back up front, Sheffield still leading, Reiner chasing. These two look to be the class of the field tonight. Leal says, how about me?
Got to watch out for that guy. Smooth and steady, wins races, and Dean, he's won a bunch lately.
He has. I mean, you never count out a George Leal. We're on lap 75 of 175, so 100 laps from here. Now, Barron, let's hop on board. Well, let's go with Lance Ripka here. We'll go on board and just see if he's lifting at all. I mean,
He's lifting.
He's definitely lifting early and letting that roll a little bit. I mean, that's just past the start-finish line. He's starting to roll out of that throttle. So could he have a little something? We'll check on Spear here. Very similar. That kind of lift does not scream heavy braking to me, Barron.
No, it truly doesn't. It looks like he's being very easy on it. That could suggest that he's in fuel safe mode.
It could be. I mean, you don't have to really, like I said, like it's not like a mile and a half or Daytona or something where you can like save, you know, 5-6 laps, but you got to really save it. You got to go. You can never be full throttle and all that. This is about lifting earlier and coasting and not using the brake. So it's just a different driving technique. You don't necessarily have to be even slower, Barron.
We talked earlier about Derek Whitford. 4th place right now for Derek. Quietly having a great night here, Dean.
Yeah, it's good to see. Derek needs a good night, and here he is doing it. Because he got that Epilepsy Foundation car there. Good looking ride. Derek Whitford up 1 spot into 4th. You got Claus Williams as far as movers. Williams up 7 spots. He's into 7th. Logan Joyner, who's been pushing that machine, he's up 17 now into 9th. So he's motoring right along. Helm's up 9 spots. You got Ian Spear up 17. Edward Kane's up 13. And Michael Walker up 11. So all these guys on the move.
love to see Daryl Spear, or excuse me, Ian Spear up there. You know, Ian, the top 15 now,
Yeah,
coming a long way.
it's an impressive run. I mean, we've known this young man for a few years now, races sporadically, but we've seen improvement over season, year over year. And, you know, when you got the youth on your side, Baron, I mean, he can still see. It's almost not fair.
And no bad habits, no vices yet, Dean.
No vices, perfect reaction times. And you can
Yep.
see he's had a little rear end damage there, so someone has got into the rear of the 32. Back up front, it's still Sheffield and Reiner. Reiner looking a little better on the entry or the center, but Sheffield perhaps smoother off the corner. Which one do you like around here, Baron?
If I had to pick a horse right now, I'm picking that 36.
I meant more like driving style. I mean, but I guess you're the wrong guy to ask about Richmond.
Oh, I pick whatever one he's using.
Fair enough.
I don't have one of my own yet, so at least not one that wins
Well, I
races.
mean, let's talk about that. What do you do at a track when maybe you don't have it? You can't figure it out. I mean, you just follow someone?
Well, Dean, that's the answer, right? You know, I raced the other night with Darren Bruce at Atlanta, and once he went by me, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to hook my anchor to the back of that guy's bumper. I'm going to do what he's doing. So I did that, taught me my way around that track. And if you're a driver of any kind of caliber, you know, the minute you get passed by the guy you think can win the race, you start emulating what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a great technique. We talk a lot about you guys with one of my, you know, wow moments or whatever. I watched the race at Texas. A guy absolutely clobbered me early on in my iRacing. I don't know how he could possibly do it. Well, I followed him around and found out he was driving it about 20 car lengths deeper into the corner than I was. I didn't even think it was possible. I thought he might be cheating. I went out and tried it, and by golly, it worked. How's that?
And it worked, I know, right?
So, I mean, you got to be willing to learn. There's no doubt about that. Right now,
That's right.
Claus Williams passed by Lance Ripka, or is stalking Ripka. Ripka working on Spear. So Jason holding on to fifth spot here, right behind Whitford. Good little group of cars
Jason.
here.
Yeah, Jason having a good night.
Claus goes up a lane here, trying to get a bit of a run. He will. He's going to stay up there. That kind of makes Ripka's entry a little shallow. Wow, Williams trying to rip the high side. Can't make it stick, though. Or Kenny. Looks like he's going to steal that spot. So Williams driving right around the outside of Buckshot Ripka.
Big move, power move.
Power move from Claus Williams. Now up 8 spots in the 6th position. Lap 91 at 175 in the ECWP Richmond 175. Now Rachel Hunt looking to do the same thing to Ripka. Ripka's frustrations continue as it looks like he's going to let Rachel, or Rachel fully scented, doing that funky line she did earlier. It works for her. She drives right around Lance.
She might have found something, Dean. She's practiced at it. Time to put it into play, right?
Yeah, and that's a great point. You got to run it to know how it runs. She did that, and she used it later on. Here we go, a Ratliff battle. Greg out front of Tony. A little pride going on here. And behind him, a big battle. Jason Jackson and Brian Spear take the battle. And, or what did I say? Brian Helm. Did I say Brian Spear?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. We knew what you were talking about.
Part of Spear Motorsports there, Mr. Helm. So Jackson wrapping the bottom, looking solid. Little crossover by the 46, but maybe doesn't have the momentum. He does. He'll get to the inside. Oh, he's driving up the track, and he hangs on. Holy smokes, Baron.
just lost the nose of it there, did Brian, and damn near took them both out.
Damn near did. Sheffield leading, Reiner second, Leal, Whitford, and here comes the gang. Spear down on the inside, so the 83 here looking for fourth.
Really charging tonight. Love what I'm seeing.
Good hard racing here, the 83 looking to have a special night. Whitford says, I can hold you though. As you can see, that middle groove to high groove starting to show some power here late in the run. So Williams and Hunt both up there, both continuing to pick up spots. Williams.
Great to see Rachel having this kind of run, Dean. I love that she's found another line. Look at this, about to go 3 wide.
This is awesome stuff. Williams rocking a high line. Rachel says, I can do you one better. There's another lane up here. And now Ripka's kind of moving up there as they all try and find their way by Jason Spear. Jason's great night is just turned into a freight train here as they try and pass him on the outside. But he surges forward, finds his grip. Spear,
wiggle out of the
back.
16. Yep, there was a wiggle out of the 16. It's got Jason right underneath him now.
Wow, and he was out of sorts there. Rachel had to check up behind the 16. So all of a sudden, Spear on the inside, and now surging back to 16, throws it in deep. Good, hard, ready to wiggle again.
Oh,
there goes
loose,
Spear.
yeah.
Rachel moves down the track. Ripka's back here like, where should I go, high or low? I do not know.
Spear needs to clear this 16 machine, Dean.
Absolutely, he does. Or you could say Claus has got to clear him. I mean, that's what a fight's all about, isn't it?
Well, it is, and Claus is having a hell of a time getting off the turn. Jason Spear has to have his wits about him to get off that turn a little more effectively, so he can get the spot.
Yeah, you got to be patient. Don't overdrive. Wait for one more wiggle, and you'll be by. But I tell you, the 16 has got a good groove there. This is just tough, hard racing. Killing these cars, though. All 4 of these cars being hurt here.
Yeah, because they're just waiting for an opportunity to drive on through.
Great racing here. Claus finally looks like he's clear. Now Rachel as the 83 wiggles, so Rachel will take it on the high side. Here comes Lance Ripka as well. So Spear trying desperately to keep these spots, just can't make it happen. He'll have to fall in line. Now Rachel gets position on Claus Williams. The 1 car continues her march towards the front. Rachel Hunt up to 5th.
That's a really good pass, too, because she knew Claus was loose, so she takes the high line away.
She went higher than high. Surprise Claus, perhaps. She takes a spot, and she has already set sail. So Hunt looking real good tonight. Up front, Sheffield leading the way. Reiner has fallen about 5 car lengths back. Leal starting to creep in on him. Got a lap car of Linger here in front of Leal. We'll see how this plays out. Looks like clear track. Leal drives off, down, and away. There's Whitford and Hunt. Look at the gap Hunt has already put on Williams, Ripka, and Spear. All that hard fighting has really hurt these cars. Meanwhile, Greg Ratliff has pulled in on the back of Jason Spear. Logan Joyner is up 16 spots. We know he was abusing his stuff a little bit. How's that going to play out? We're about to find out.
Well, up into the top 10 feels pretty good, but he may start to bleed some spots here.
Yeah, and it might be a net win nonetheless. I mean, I don't think he's going to lose 16 spots, but he might lose a couple as Tony Ratliff comes underneath looking to make the move. Door to door, a little bang!
Oh!
And down the track goes Tony Ratliff. He'll be all right. but Jason Jackson crawls into the picture.
That's one of the threats of this track means, like, you get going and you look to pass somebody, you lose the nose, and you get up into him, you piss them off.
Yeah. Something else out here. These guys battling hard. Here's our leader here. Then Reiner. There's Leal. So the top three, status quo. I gotta tell you, Hunt fastest on the track right now. Rachel Hunt having herself a night. Let's go on board with Rachel Hunt. I mean, she is the fastest car on the track. Let's take a look at this line she's running. Driving a
right
little
down on that
heavy
lower
in the
line.
middle there. Wow, almost a complete stop there, Baron.
Yeah, almost a diamond a turn.
Very strange 1 and 2, but I've seen it done and it's been working. Like I said, she was the fastest on the track a couple laps ago. This time by, not so, but she is well, actually this lap she was fastest on the track again. So Rachel has found something and she is coming.
The windshield.
Well, it can be frustrating, the visuals, but she is definitely catching Derek Whitford for 4th place. There is no doubt about that. Last time by, about a half a tenth faster than him. She continues to ride that funky line where she's just driving it in a little bit harder. And like I said, some of the loose car, you've seen the wiggling of the cars. You know, she's trying to wear out that right front a little bit and equalize those right side tires. It's really working for her, or has to this point. Lap 114 of 175. You see how hard she's driving it in there. Behind her, massive battle going on. Repka and Williams. Spears in this group. Looks like a couple of Lapper, or one at least, lingers in there. And Greg Ratliff also joining this group. There goes Ripka, finally getting a little racing room. He's been on the bottom a lot. He's trying to drive around Claus Williams.
Ripka still trying to uncover himself from that early incident when he was in second position. Just a slow, lazy spin on his own, and here he is mired back in 6th and 7th.
I think he'd like to see a caution right about now.
Yeah, I think
and
there's a lot of drivers.
I called
there
it.
You go.
There is Brantley on pit road. I'm trying to find anybody where it's happened, but I just can't.
Booth jinxed the hell out of it again, didn't we?
Yeah, that was something there, right on cue. Let's get a look at it. Looks like Fleming, Helm, Travis, and the Toad Man all involved. So Fleming touches the wall on entry. Oh, in front of them, Helm with a strange setup. Travis gets into him. What happened to Helm there? That was very odd looking from the 46.
He might have gotten in the car in front of him.
I think he did. So this is Ian Spear in front of him. He goes into the corner and he's squiggly under braking. He tried to release that brake. He got into the 32. The pile up ensued from there.
Ashley, yep.
I'll go back one more time here and just see the rest of those cars. I kind of got off track. So there's Fleming and the Toad Man. You can see the spinning happen out of the 46. Now you can see Fleming backing out. Toad Man's driving in a little too hard. He's going to be collected. Right at the end of that replay, I got off it too quick. We're going back if I can. As pit stops are commencing, we got to go back and see the end of that replay one more time. Here, because he comes right up on this, Baron. When you're the leader of the race, this is the last thing you want to see coming into your sights.
Yeah, he's concentrating on the lapper right now. Meanwhile, they're wrecking in front of him. That's an oh shit moment right there.
Look at that
Oh.
control, though. That is some good car control.
Oh my God! I think he got away with it. Look at that, Dean.
That was great control. A little scary to say the least. So pit stops were going
Yeah.
on while we all talked. And off of pit road, it's Sheffield, Reiner, and Leal. Whitford, Ripka. So Hunt falls a cup 1 or 2 there. So that'll hurt her a little bit, but she's in a good spot. Claus Williams, Greg Ratliff, Jason Spear, and Logan Joyner now gets fresh rubber. He's up 16. Watch out for Joyner. He's awful good on the short run.
So, Dean, what do you think here, buddy?
I think things are about to heat up.
55 laps to go. Going to tick off pretty quickly. Fresh rubber.
Fresh rubber. So the key to this at Richmond, if you're on the high side, you've got to absolutely rip 1 and 2. Guys on the bottom will be gentle going in. You can ride right around them on corner 1 and 2. It's tricky, it's aggressive, and it's problematic because you could get loose. But I'm telling you, it can be done.
And it will be. These guys are going to try it. They're going to put it where they ain't, right?
You bet they will. Pace car off the track. Sheffield and Reiner lead them down.
Green flag.
And he checks up the inside lane a little bit. Leal got checked up. He tried to go perhaps a little bit early, tried to time it. He's going to recover, though. So Leal trying to recover for third.
He got into the
Ripka
back
trying
of
to make
Sheffield
his
there.
move. Lots of hard racing going on here. Hunt trying to hang on. She got Claus Williams attacking her, though. She's still rocking the high side. High side a little
Didn't have a
better on
choice.
worn tires, but with freshies, I don't know.
She didn't have a choice here. They're ganging up on her on the bottom.
They certainly are. She's doing a nice job trying to maintain, though. Sheffield just set the best lap of the race out front. So everybody gets that all sorted out. Basically single file through the field here right now. Up front, Sheffield. There's Reiner in second, Leal third, so we're right back where we started. And Ripka is back to fourth. He can breathe again. He's got 50 laps to put that thing up there up front. Here comes Whitford around the outside of Claus, and I think we kind of found Claus Williams' nemesis here. He likes the outside. You put him on the bottom, he don't like it so much. Oh, and he's loose, as I say it, down into the grass. Coming from the low side, like I said, he didn't like it. He got loose. Disaster for the 16.
Yeah, good gathered up, but he was not a happy camper coming off those turns.
He was not. Reiner back up to our leader, so things tightening up front. Big gaggle of cars around Greg Ratliff, Logan Joyner, Tony Ratliff, all trying to hunt down Rachel Hunt here. Kane's in the mix. He's up 17. Ian Spear
Nice rebound
up
from
here.
Kane. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about and Kane's loose. Down to the grass he goes. Over the
Another
bump.
good save.
Pop a little wheelie. So we've seen this a few times now. He'll go to the back. The Booth Jinx is strong tonight, Baron.
We are doing well with it.
Logan Joyner
We are
trying
doing
to
well.
fight Tony Ratliff. And what we're seeing consistently is it's the guy on the inside trying to power off a 4 who just can't get, tries to put too much power down. Gets loose, heads down into the grass. Good race here at Richmond.
Really nice. I mean, look, 45 laps to go. We actually got a challenge for the lead here, Dean.
We certainly do. Sheffield
Brandon
trying to
Sheffield
hold
has
off
been-
Reiner.
Yeah, he's been untouched most of the night.
I mean, the entire night, really. He's got great restarts, just launched out of cannons. That's what you want to do, especially on these shorter tracks. And now, though, now things are changing. Reiner is there.
I think Reiner's probably told himself it's time to go, isn't it here?
Well, that's it. It's one thing to save tire and everything, but you only have a 40 to 50 lap run on a car, a tank of gas that can do about 110. So there's nothing to save. It's not worth saving. We got to race, baby. Now, tire heat, that's another thing, Baron. You know, you don't want to overheat your tires.
Right, good suggestion, right? It's one of those things where if you overheat it, you'll lose the nose, or you'll lose the rear end, and you get a Claus-Williams situation.
Now, you can cool those back down, of course. How long would it take you, Baron? About 2 or 3 laps?
Well, it depends on how fast you want to go in the meantime, Dean. I mean, honestly, if they're gone, you might have to ride for 5 or 6 laps before the temperatures get back to where you'd want them, but they're still not going to be great, you know?
Everybody back here kind of settled in as well. There's Spear again with Walker. These guys up 20 spots and 15 respectively. Jorge Leal, right where he started, he might be the only guy on the board right where he started, besides our leader, Brandon Sheffield.
Hard to move from first unless you're going backwards, Dean.
Them facts right there. Yeah, Greg Ratliff here. Let's hop on board with Greg. He's right behind Rachel Hunt here. Greg's had a solid evening. Pretty quiet here right now as he's chasing. You see Hunt's coming out of those corners a little early, which she may be doing that on purpose, but I can't wait for another few laps and she'll get back to her line. There she goes, back up top.
Yeah,
and that's what she likes. That's when that car starts to really come alive.
Yeah, really nice.
There is Rachel. We'll see her go down into one again, see what she's doing. And she's continuing that weird line of kind of top to middle, back to the top. And it's been working for her so well. Up front, Sheffield, your leader.
Sheffield really just kind of on cruise control here. I mean, Bryce Reiner, has he even looked for a position yet?
Well, no. Reiner is a very calculated man. Make no mistake, Baron, he is not here to get second place. But he'll be assessing the situation. He's trying to save a little something, and I think we're reaching that time. 35 to go. He's going to start thinking about making his move right now and how to go about doing that. But he is not content with second. There's Helm as they work around Helm. So Helm went down through the grass there a while back, I believe. And
yeah. Well, he got hung up in that incident, too.
Or maybe it was the incident I'm thinking about. That's right. So meanwhile, Leal and Ripka are closing back in. Leal loose. He almost went through the grass himself there. He had to check up. That brings Ripka to his outside, but Helm's up there, nowhere to go. Good drive off the corner. Leal protecting the bottom. So they both clear. Up front, Reiner, you see how hard he's driving in there, but Sheffield pulling away center off.
And how do you do that, Dean? You got to make the pass. But, with a guy like Sheffield out in front, what do? Do you straight go for it, or you try to wait for him to make a mistake?
I think what I would do what he's doing right now. He's looking for weaknesses, right? And he's looking also. You can see there a little higher entry. He's searching to see how can I get a run off the corner? The key is to run off the corner. So tough to beat the guy in front of you off the corner on a small track like this. You got to find a way and get to his corner panel. So if I'm Reiner right here, I'm looking to that Rachel Hunt line in 1 and 2. And I'm going to try and get to his corner panel before 3. And there he goes. Reiner up the track. So Reiner does exactly... I mean, if I was his crew chief, I'd be proud of him. He didn't like it, though. Car upset. He'll have to regroup and get a little bit closer.
Just a little experimenting there, but I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's working everything right now. He's not done yet. There's lots of time. I mean, not a ton, but lots of time here to work out a few kinks. But he knows Leal's going to protect, or Sheffield's going to protect that bottom. He's got to go to the high side. The other thing I like to do is shock them. They call it the shocker. You gotta go into 1, a full send on the high side, much like Rachel does, so that guy in front of you, his spotter, yells out, "Car high," and it'll surprise him. What do you mean a car high? And he'll change his driving, perhaps have a poor exit. You can do things like that to induce a mistake from the guy in front of you.
That's your definition of a shocker, huh? All right.
It's something like that. It's definitely a surprise.
Unconventional. That's the word we're going to use tonight.
So Hunt back here now is about the time when her car starts to work a little better. We got caution on the track. It's Helm in trouble. So the 46 down here on the bottom of the track. Something has happened. And there you see it loose in the center of the corner. He gets off the corner and away she goes.
Nope.
Those rear tires, he had him angry, Baron, and he's going to stop down there. Nothing wrong with that, but caution comes out. So here we go. This is huge. Gotta pit. There's no choice in the matter here.
Yeah, it'll be feeding time. Who gets on and off the pit road the best?
Here they come. And wow, aggressive from Reiner there, who almost got to the outside of Sheffield. He backed back out of it, but this I like. They stayed tight, the top 3. They're looking for any advantage they can get.
Well, and what Reiner figured out pretty quickly, he had to fall back in line, is that Sheffield's in front of him. He couldn't get down to his pit before Sheffield. So, good move, good patience.
Yeah. All these calculations going on in the brain. Oh, and Greg Ratliff back up.
Misses it. Yeah,
so
that's
going to cost him 5 spots here on pit road. Logan Joyner comes out first. What a move! The 34 with a 2-stopper, 2 tires, a 9.6, and he takes the lead. This is going to shake everything up. Holy smokes!
Joyner pulling a pit crew move right there. I love it.
I don't know how much I like it quite yet. I don't know. I hope he practiced this, because this is an unknown how the car is going to react as Brantley's back on pit road. But Logan Joyner, he's got the lead, and this not only does it interesting that he has the lead, but now Sheffield goes to the high side, Reiner goes to the low side. Sheffield did not want this.
Well, he's going to be on the outside of that car, so he may have a clean view of the lead. Those older tires may not hold up.
Well, the older tires may not hold up, but it's all about that restart. When you control the restart, you can get off real good because you're the first one to go. But now he's got to wait for Joyner to go. Advantage to Reiner, depending on how Joyner can get through 1. I mean, this is wildly entertaining, I'll tell you that. Leal back here licking his chops, hoping the high line moves. Ripka's in it, thinking, let's get the low line working. Then you got Hunt and Whitford, so, oh boy, we've really shook her up.
Yeah. And that's his catch now.
Still quiet out in YouTube land. Everybody's quiet here on a Thursday night. Logan Joyner with the two tires stop. Will it pay off? Pace car's off. Green flag. Great launch by Joyner.
Oh,
He checked
Joyner
up
gets in
Reiner a
time.
bit. Advantage Sheffield. Sheffield slips in there. Reiner tries to send it in deep. He does. And Joyner checks up Sheffield. Reiner now has the advantage. Sheffield's got to find racing room. He looks high. Joyner down to the bottom. Advantage Sheffield here. Holy
Oh, big
smokes.
wiggle by Reiner. Big wiggle trying to get off the turn.
And now Joyner cuts the nose on a 14. So Joyner controlling the race on old tires. What action! Sheffield trying to power through. He says, "You're not doing it to me again." Reiner says, "Oh yeah,
they almost
watch
get together.
this." Reiner to the front. What a run! Joyner trying to get down there to block. Heavy action around
Here
here.
comes George Leal.
Jorge Leal right in this thing. Sheffield battling back on the high side. All the time, Joyner still your race leader.
I hate this track.
I love the action.
I love the
Repka right
action,
in
but
this thing.
Oh, my God.
Stop rocking. You'll be okay, Barrett. So Reiner slips in front of Sheffield. Joyner holding the lead. These two tires are working great for him. Sheffield
Here
down to
comes
the
Sheffield
bottom.
on the inside.
Big wiggle. So now Sheffield will attempt to trade favors here with the 14. And the 14 gets the wall. Sheffield down into one. What a race, folks. 17 to go.
A little bit of wiggle out of
is the
36.
man. Logan
Well, these two
Joyner.
keep racing each other. He's going to get away.
He's going to get away, there's no doubt. I mean, he's already got a couple of car legs. Sheffield files back in. What a move by the 34. Those two tires look like they're as good as four.
Here comes Bryce Reiner.
I don't know. Logan Joyner looking strong out here, powering off the corner. Reiner, though, big run by him. Joyner down to the bottom to block it. Here comes Sheffield. What a race. A big wiggle from the 34. Reiner down to the bottom. Surging is the 36. Everybody back in line. Heading down into one.
Reiner got a nice run off of 4. He's got the nose there now.
Yeah, this is big. Reiner trying to power through Logan Joyner. Joyner hanging on for everything he's worth. Great
George Leal's
job.
right there.
Awesome run by the 34 as he's doing the Rachel Hunt line up there. Reiner puts it in a little bit deeper this time, and he's in better position because of it. Here comes Sheffield. I thought he was looking 3 wide. Holy smokes. Almost contact up front. Sheffield might be looking 3 wide.
Reiner had to push up a little bit to finish the turn.
Crazy racing. Joyner with a head of steam, fighting back on the outside. Logan Joyner not done yet. Sheffield on the
3
bottom.
wide.
We're 3 wide. What racing? Leal right behind them all. Holy smokes. Joyner at the line. 11 to go.
Here comes Leal. Leal's got a nose under Sheffield.
Logan
Sheffield
Joyner
gives-
is fighting for all he's worth. He's in the wall. There
he's
goes
wrecked.
Sheffield.
Caution, yellow flag.
He's wrecked.
And Sheffield has towed. Oh, the humanity of it all. Logan
Lot of
Joyner's
cars.
wrecked. Leal's in
Yeah.
it. And look who's sitting up front. Joyner tried and he tried and he tried to hang on to that, and eventually it just wore out. Exciting racing. Joyner loose off,
Loose.
correct back into the wall.
Leal
Sheffield
took
tries
out
to avoid.
Sheffield.
Look at Whitford's in
Oh
it.
no, Woodford's in it. Ratliff.
A lot of cars in this thing. So we try and get a good look here at the carnage. We'll go slow motion here. And there you see the beginnings at the top of your screen. There's the main impacts. Leal, or that's Sheffield down there. Whitford turned up the track. Rachel Hunt looking for room. Does it open up for the one car? The 6 of Tony Ratliff gets airborne. Looks like Jason Jackson coming through. Ian Spear into the back of the 16 of Claus Williams. But they're both going to get through it. So everybody trying their best, but there's a 22 of Walker. A lot of carnage. Couple made it through, a couple did not. Helm heads to pit road. Everybody else was already in, but Reiner and Ripka stayed out. So very, very interesting stuff out here. Oh, and Hunt does not beat the pace car out. Rachel Hunt trapped a lap down.
Oh, awful.
Pain for the number one.
Jason Jackson is in third place. We haven't even talked about him tonight, Dean.
That is incredible. Jason Jackson doing Jason Jackson things, being patient, getting through the carnage. The 86 now in third. Jorge Leal, who was right where he started back in 13th all night long, now finds himself in 5th position. And then you got Ian Spear, Edward Kane, up 25 and 21 spots respectively. Holy smokes, things have changed. And of course, Sheffield is still on pit road. His night done.
What a shame, too. Such a dominant car all race.
Pole sitter led every lap till that pit stop. Logan Joyner, a valiant effort, just did not work out. Here we go. Catch your breath. Get ready. We're going racing. Ripka on the outside of Reiner.
Green.
Good start by Reiner, but a wiggle.
Oh, big
Oh
wiggle.
boy, he almost wrecked it there, folks. Here comes Jackson down on the inside, looking for room underneath the Claus Williams. Ripka rocks that high side I talked about, gets a massive run on Reiner. Lance Ripka trying to do something. Buckshot on the preferred line perhaps, but Reiner so strong, so smooth.
He's going to have a hell of a run on that outside, Dean.
And he will. 1 and 2. A big run by the 52. Looking for the lead. Buckshot out front. He's got it. But Reiner surging back. Wow, big checkup. The 52 out front. Holy cow.
Rebound.
Lance Ripka thought his race night was over. It is
Jason
not.
Jackson.
Here comes Jason Jackson. So Reiner fading all of a sudden. Hardcore, short action here. Here comes Leal. Wow. Ripka out front, surging. Jorge Leal blocked off. Nowhere to go, I reckon. Looks like Fleming involved. Linger involved. George Leal may have caught some of this as well. Three wide up here. Spear and Kane come together. Leal comes down through the middle, 3 wide, looking maybe 4 wide. Contact. Rachel comes through there, and Rachel might be the lucky dog. She's definitely lucky in that wreck. Wow. Heavy racing here, Baron. How about Buckshot back out front?
That's crazy, Dean. After that incident early in the race, what a rebound. Great drive.
I mean, he was riding in second or third. What was it? Went down through the grass, fell all the way back to the back of the pack. I mean, in rough shape. And a couple of cautions later, he finds himself in the race lead. Jackson slides into second. Reiner falls to third on that restart. Then you got Jorge Leal and Claus Williams. The rest of the top 10, Darrell Spear in the third, or Ian Spear, sorry. Jason Brantley, Edward Kane, Michael Walker II, and Brian Helm somehow back in the top 10. Hunt
Helm's had a
indeed
night,
was
hasn't
the
he?
lucky dog, so there goes the one car. That thing's crab walking, though. I don't think that looks too healthy. I mean, it might be all right. It looked a little sideways to me.
Helm's had a hell of a night, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a hell of a night. A few fights out there with people and through the grass one time. It's been an interesting night. On pit road, you got Spears on pit road, Reggie Evans down there. Of course, Kulikowski is back on the track, as is the Toad Man. Sheffield down on pit road, probably done for the night. 3 to go. A green-white checker here. This one's going to be entertaining. Scott Olson says time to wad it up. I don't know, Scott. I don't think so. I think that time is come and gone. Maybe that comment was prior to the wad up.
Scott Olson watching it for the Rex. I love it.
It used to be a thing, Baron. I mean, it's kind of what racing was built on.
It was once upon a time, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The threat of death was ever present. All right. Let's get down to it. The East Coast Web Printers Gen 6 series here with a green-white checker.
3 to go.
Lance Buckshot Ripka leads him. Good restart. Jason Jackson with an excellent restart on the high side. He has an opportunity here to rip the high side for the win. And he does. A great corner. Jason Jackson surging to the front, not quite yet. Ripka trying to hold him off. Jackson high. Oh, they're rubbing here.
We'll push him up a little bit there.
What a corner! White flag is out! We go side by side down into one. Jackson Hurd. Ripka gives him a nudge. They're beating and banging. Holy smokes! Another hit!
Oh, look, Rob.
They're rubbing through the corner. Here comes Leal high. No! Jackson fighting with Ripka at the line. It's Jackson with the victory. Holy cow!
God.
What a fight, Baron!
Oh my God, what a battle. What a battle. What a battle.
Jason Jackson out of nowhere. The 86 fights. He did everything right on that restart. He had to have a great timed restart. He had to get to the outside of Lance Ripka. He did that. And then he fought for his life, and unfortunate for Buckshot, he comes up one shy here. Wow.
We need a replay, Dean. We need to have a replay of that.
Let's
Gotta have a
back
replay.
to it. Have to give me a few minutes here. Let's have a look, see if we got it. Here we go. Bam! There's a corner entry hit. Come off the corner. Contact again. Contact again. Down
Bleeding
into
all over
three.
each other.
Beaten.
Another touch. Look at the drive off here.
Both of them
Oh, he got a
wiggling.
little bit loose. Yeah, Ripken just got a little bit loose. Didn't get the power down.
Go back one more time. Just tell us what you see in here, Baron.
Yeah, well, look, Jackson holding strong on the outside, holding him down. He needs to, right? He's not hurting him any, but he's not giving him any room here. And that's what you do with the last lap. And then here in the last turn, you see Ripken's getting a little bit of run, but he gets loose enough, and it's just enough for Jackson to get by.
What a move.
Wow.
Great racing. Great job. Great
Wow.
finish.
And Corey Leal.
Corey Leal was
Corey
there
Leal in
looking
third.
and fighting
Yeah.
and trying to find something. Couldn't quite get there, but it was thrilling nonetheless. Let's bring up our race results here and have a little look at some of the great finishes and some heartbreak. Of course, our top three there with Corey Leal third. Claus Williams, great fourth place tonight. He fought all night. Bryce, not a shootout driver. He's never professed to be one, and it was kind of his nemesis tonight. He finishes fifth. Ian Spear, holy smokes, what a night for him. Up 25 spots. He finishes in sixth. Jason Brantley, Edward Kane, Michael Walker, what runs for them? They're all up. I mean, Brantley 13, Kane 20, Walker 18, Helm up 11. I mean, and then you get into some of the guys. I mean, Fleming a good night in 11th, but others are falling. Rachel was there late, had some trouble late. Whitford had a good night. Leal, my goodness. Of course, we look a little further back, you'll see Sheffield and others. Logan Joyner, what an effort he made. He made this whole thing a lot of fun here tonight. Probably created some anger with some people as well, but I mean, I thought it was a great, when you see someone who takes that risk, that two-tire risk, and makes it work the way he did, if he wrecked 10 laps into that run, so be it. He had a right to do it. He held his line. He was doing great. A little wiggle there on the straightaway. That can happen to the best of them.
Great racing tonight, Dean. Not a fan of the track, but I do like the racing it produced. That was great.
Yeah, it really was something. Right now, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back with some race interviews. Look there at the Mustang GT3 car. Good sounding car, Baron.
Yeah, I think all those IMSA cars are pretty cool. I mean, we're getting an IMSA driver this week, and Catherine Legge driving in the Cup Series.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Be interesting to see for sure. But right now, something that was really interesting was the end of this race. And of course, the 57, Corey Leal finishing in third place. Congratulations, Corey.
Thank you, Dean. Appreciate it.
Man, oh man, it was a couple of restarts there at the end. We're getting a little hot and heavy out there. It was a lot of fun to watch. How much fun were you having out there, Corey?
Richmond's not normally a track I would necessarily like, but this past two races have been pretty good. I think I figured something out here.
I think a lot of people have it. It looks like the multi-groove racing has come back at least somewhat. Now let's start at the end there, Corey. You're on the high side, 3 wide. I mean, did a little flash come to you? Like, oh my goodness, I might be able to do this thing, putting her 3 wide on the top here.
Yeah, I was having pretty good success wrapping the top. I couldn't find any grip on the bottom, so I was getting good runs off the corner on the top.
Well, you were getting good runs. We watched you for the whole race, Corey, and seemed like you were right where you started. 13th. You look 3/4 of the way through or halfway through. You're still in 13th. We at the point of the green flag running, were you just content and just maybe waiting for that long run? What were your thoughts about running the race here tonight?
Well, once I got back up to 13th, I was merely just trying to hold it there because I had that speeding in the pits and I had to go to the back, and then I got caught up in that little wreck afterwards, and I did not expect to be in the top 3, to be honest.
No, I'm sure, Corey. I mean, when you get in that situation, the adrenaline's pumping a little bit. What were you think? Were you thinking like, let's just hang on to this thing, let's not make any mistakes, or were you thinking, let's go try and steal one?
I was just holding on for dear life.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, you sound like us at Richmond. Me and Barron, maybe not our best driving track, but you talked a little bit about how it was a little different tonight, and you found a little something. Did you find it on the high side, Corey? We've seen a lot of this weird line of kind of entering and almost stopping on the high line and then cutting her down. Were you trying that at all?
Yeah, every time I tried to overtake somebody, that seemed to work for me. Got a good run out of, especially too.
Well, Corey, it seemed like a lot worked for you. It's good to see the other Leal, the Corey Leal, up here in the 57. Congrats on a great run, brother. 3rd place, a thrilling finish, a thrilling race for us up in the booth, and a big congratulations. We'll give you the mic. Anybody you want to thank, you go right ahead, my friend.
I want to thank the league for having me, and I have a good time racing here, and thank you guys for broadcasting, and my uncle and my brother for getting me into sim racing, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So, yeah.
All right, brother. Barron, that was Corey Leal, the number 57, with a 3rd place finish.
That was great to see Corey up there. Great to talk to him, having a podium finish here at Richmond. But I'll tell you what, the guy who had one of the longest nights of his life, I'll bet, I am with 2nd place finisher Lance Ripka in the 52 machine. Lance, what a night you had.
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster night. Had some ups, some downs, but I'll take a second. That was a fun race.
It was a great battle coming to the end there. So talk a little bit about what your strategy was, because Jason Jackson gave you all you could handle.
Well, in that last pit stop, I only took 2 tires, so I knew that we had a caution, and anybody else took 4 tires. It was going to be tough to hold them off. I needed that to stay green. So, yeah, I was just going to try to get the best restart I could, which I didn't, and then just trying to push him up the track and try to keep him off his line. But, yeah, I just ran it as hard as I could and just fell slightly short.
Yeah, it looks like Jason got a nice restart with you there. So were you looking to get to the high line there, or is the low line working better for your machine?
Well, the low line was working better for me, especially in the long run. I do know, that topside or middle groove was pretty fast on that short run. I was just trying to, on that last couple laps, I was just trying to take him off his line. I knew that with the 4 tires, he's going to get a good run off the top side, so just tried to hold him up the track a little bit and hopefully not give up the bottom too much. I don't know what to say. I got a little bit looser than he did off of 4, and he eked me out.
Yeah, well, that's about it, too, right? A little bit of loose and a little bit of track position, and here we're talking to you in 2nd place. Passed a lot of cars tonight, Lance. Who you got to thank for your effort?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody here in RGR. It's a hell of a league. I don't think there's one better. Alive Church, WTE TV for putting on these broadcasts, and the series sponsor, East Coast Road Printers. Haven't said it before. I know they've been on my car this whole season, last season. But I just want to give a shout out to all those veterans that are struggling, and just want them to know that there's help out there. Don't give up.
That's absolutely the right message there, Lance. Dean, shouting out our veterans and our military men and women. Second place finisher Lance Ripka here with us tonight at Richmond.
Yeah, it's always awesome. I mean, big shout out to all the vets. A big salute to you and your service. We appreciate it. And I got to tell you now, I'm down here with race winner, Jason Jackson. Congratulations, Jason.
Thanks.
Wow, I mean, Jason, holy cow, right? I mean, you're biding your time, you're doing your thing, the quiet man, as I like to call you, right? Just coming through there, being patient, waiting, and all of a sudden, opportunity knocks late in this one with a couple of restarts. What were you thinking?
Boy, yeah, it was just when I kind of got closer to the top 5. I thought, okay, maybe I've got a decent chance of running pretty good. And then that last caution when Bryce stayed out and we all came in and got tires, and I came out and in third, I was like, boy, this is really the chance that I've got here, and it paid off.
It did. I want to get to that last restart. You start on the outside. I talk about it sometimes. I've seen people do it. You can get in to one on the high side a little harder than the guy on the bottom can on that green-white checker. You did that. Were you thinking about it? Were you conscious of it? I mean, were you really going for this thing?
Oh, yeah. It was 100% pre-thought. It was dedication. I was going to either go down and shove up real bad, or it was gonna stick, and I was going to try to do my best to hold Lance down.
Man, did you? I mean, we replayed that ending. You guys beating and banging, trading a little paint. I mean, how'd that feel in the car? Were you worried that one of yous were going around, if not both of yous?
And yes and no. I mean, we were touching, but we weren't touching hard. So I think that just the cars didn't move around, but you could, register the contact. But it was one heck of a battle.
Man, was it ever, man? I mean, it was so thrilling up here. Jason, excuse me. I got the hiccups because I'm drinking so much from the excitement. But it was absolutely, absolutely thrilling here. And I just can't believe that to get up there and to have the cojones to not only rip that high side, but to ride the low line against, a high pressure situation. You got Buckshot down there. But I mean, we got to talk about you a bit. Your confidence. I mean, it's not like you lack confidence, is it, Jason? You've been riding in the top 10 for like 2 years, top 5 pretty consistently over the last year or so. I mean, it's time to start breaking through with these victories, isn't it?
Well, I'm pretty confident when it comes to short tracks and stuff. I'm a lot better at the short tracks than I am the mile and a halves. I do pretty good on the super speedways and stuff like that, but something about my driving style, it just really suits the short tracks, Richmond, Martinsville, and all those places. I just seem to do a lot better there than I do the mile and a half. That's for sure.
You think that's got something to do with your footwork, Jason? How you work those pedals?
Yeah, possibly. I don't charge the corner all that hard. What I think, anyways. On the short tracks, and that helps a lot. I know there's a lot of people that overdrive the entries and stuff that really messes with the cars on the short tracks. And it may be the way I drive. I 2-foot drive and stuff. There's no telling.
Sometimes there is no telling. But you're in victory lane. I got more news for you. You're the points leader, at least in our unofficial standings. So congrats on that. And man, oh man, you're in the fight the rest of the way. So congrats on this victory, Jason. It was one of the more thrilling ones we've seen. And we'll give you the mic, brother. Any sponsors, anybody you want to shout out?
Well, first of all, we want to thank you guys at Wind Tunnel. You guys do a great job every week, and I always look forward to watching the replay the next day. We got to thank Alive Church and East Coast Web Printers, and then I've got to thank Custom Works for Taba, and Civil Tech, which is Nick Baris's wife's company, and then Ed Kane. He's our resident CPA for everybody. So if you need tax stuff, go do that with Ed. And I've got to thank Derek. He's all the teammates. Brandon had a bad night with getting caught up in that one wreck, but I think he had the best chance of actually winning this if something wouldn't have happened. But it was really good night and really enjoyed it.
All right, Baron. Jason Jackson, number 86, down in Victory Lane tonight.
Congratulations to Jason. What a great drive tonight. A lot of guts, a lot of battle, no quit, all go. That's the kind of racing I like to see out of a race car driver. He did it great tonight.
Man, it was incredible stuff. A thrilling event. Of course, we have thrilling events each and every week. Next Thursday, 9:10 p.m. It'll be the East Coast Web Printers Gen 6 series. Make sure you come and check it out. Of course, we got Sunday nights as well. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Baron Labosco, that's going to wrap it up from Richmond, and we'll see you right here next